All right. Welcome back, friends. This is the Cindy and Shar B2 podcast. I am Cindy.
Amazing.
Yes, I will agree.
AKA Char.
Yes. So we were born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, influenced by the 90s, and now we're here to reminisce with you. Shar, what are you drinking tonight?
So I have two.
Okay.
One is my trusty go-to and one is something new. So just
Okay.
in case the something new is not that good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at my nails too, by the way. Can you see
Oh,
those?
those are so cute.
They're very Christmas ready.
Yes, I like it.
Okay. So the first one I had, I've never had this. It's something new. I was at World Market and I was like, ooh, they have a fun alcohol section. I'm going to go get something for the podcast. So I've actually had this for quite a few weeks, but as people know from the last podcast, we took a little hiatus because we were, adulting. But this is what I have. Can you read it?
Oh, day drinking.
Yeah.
Southern peach.
It's a wine spritzer.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's by Little Big Town.
Okay.
From sunup to sundown, Southern peach. Wine. Oh, this side says wine spritzer. There's where it is.
All right. How strong is it?
That's a great question. Isaiah was giving me a hard time. He's like, they all have it on there. And I'm like, because that one few podcasts
No,
ago,
sometimes they don't.
I think I said podcast. I meant podcast.
Oh, okay.
A few podcasts ago, I was trying to find the ABV on one and I couldn't.
Yeah.
And he's like, they all have it on there. This is another one that does not have it on here. So anyway,
Okay.
Enough with that. Let me
crack that bad boy open.
Why? Oh dear God. I'm going to have this problem again. What is it with me in these? Oh, I think it's because this is a tall boy one.
Okay.
Okay, for Pete's sake. Good enough. Clearly, I need a drink. It's only Tuesday, but I'm pretty sure I just worked like 78 hours in the last 2 days.
Yeah. Oh, yay.
That's good.
Does it taste strong?
Mm-hmm. It does. This tastes like it could be trouble if I'm not careful. I really wish I could. Oh, wait. 12%.
Okay.
It has it very, very small over here on the side.
That's pretty typical for a wine.
That's really good. And I'm not normally a wine drinker because it usually makes me feel like doo-doo the next day. I mean, that's usually also when I drink a lot of it. One should be fine. And then just in case, well, I will get through that one. So once that one's done, I have my trusty high noon. And gosh dang it, my ring light.
Is it a pineapple?
No.
Oh, a mango. Have you tried that one?
I have. And my refrigerator, my booze fridge out in the garage is full of pineapple high noons. So, and there was one, but I kept holding on my pineapple. So clearly we know my least favorite is pineapple. Okay. Okay, that literally tastes like mango.
Oh, that's delicious.
That's pretty good. This one's very peachy and very spritzy. It's very carbonated, which I like. We all know I like carbonation. I love peach. Oh, wait. I like this one is not carbonated.
But it's a little spritzy from the...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. So what you got?
So
I can see it behind your shoulder.
Yeah. Well, so I know. I'm kind of in a weird setting right now.
That's okay.
So I had one of my little Seagrams with some Malibu rum in it and some Sprite, and it's pretty much gone.
I know you had to wait a hot minute for me to hop on tonight. It was a little bit of a fiasco, but
so this one is obviously too big for me. But
that's the situation I'm having. I like it.
This is a very special beer that my sister brought me from California. And you will know why it's so special when I show you the picture, but then I have to read everything on the can because it's awesome.
Okay. Okay.
Da-na, na, 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 na.
Oh, no way. That's
Yes.
hilarious.
So,
Numb and Number.
Numb and Number. So, if anyone doesn't
It's
know,
the
our favorite,
Shaggin' Wagon.
I know it's the Shaggin' Wagon from Dumb and Dumber, and this is Numb and Number double hazy IPA. So, I am going to do my best to drink this.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But it's
Double
from
hazy.
Fall. Yeah, it's from Fall River Brewing in Reading.
Okay. Okay.
But I have to read what it says.
Okay. Okay.
So, first of all, there's a little top hat that's half orange, half blue from the movie.
Yep.
So, this says, just when you think it couldn't possibly be any number, we go and do something like this and totally redeem ourselves.
Redeem ourselves.
Yes. Numb and Number is bursting with the same tropical juiciness of the original, but an even richer vibe that causes beautiful people to flock instinctively like the salmon of Capistrano.
Toronto.
Even if you've got no food, got
Mhm.
no job, and your pets' heads are falling off,
And our pets. Yeah.
you've got Numb and Number. So make like you're in Austria, throw another shrimp on the Barbie, and crack open another one. Make Lloyd and Harry proud. Oh, look, Frost. Is that not the best?
That's hilarious. So have you tried one yet? Or
I did. I did
okay.
because my sister brought us a 4-pack.
Okay.
And yes, so Chris and I have tried it. He drank it. I just took a sip. So, oh, and also Petey's on it.
Petey.
I think that's all the little Easter eggs on it. But this bad boy is 8.2%.
Okay. Okay.
So,
I love it.
is it not the best?
It's the best. I wish that I liked IPAs.
Oh, wow, it's strong. I
Yeah,
already
see,
smell it and it's way over here.
yeah, see, I have a really hard time with IPAs. That's what my husband drinks. He loves IPAs. He loves West Coast IPAs specifically.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of hazies. I don't like IPAs. Like my go-to beer is usually like I love Mexican lagers. Those are
Hmm.
probably my favorite. Of course, we've already talked about making it. How is it?
Actually, it's good.
Okay.
These ones that are like
You don't normally like IPAs either, right? Yeah.
no. And so what I found is the more it sits, I feel like it almost tastes stronger and it's harder to drink. So I'm gonna try to drink it really fast.
Okay. That's what I do. Chug them. Chug it.
So
Chug, 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 chug,
here, let me
chug,
shotgun
chug,
it.
chug. Yeah.
Not that I know what that means.
No, no.
Um,
Yeah.
but then
We've heard about it.
I do have my favorite beer. It's White Rascal
White. Okay. Yep. Yep.
from Avery.
From
Actually,
Avery.
this is my favorite year-round beer, but my
Mhm.
favorite seasonal is Cold Snap by Sam Adams, which comes out
Oh, yeah.
between January and March. So
Okay.
it's almost here.
Okay.
And then I also have this I got for free from OnQ because they have the 12 days of Christmas. You get a free thing every day.
Okay. Have you ever had those seltzers, the Topo
No.
Chico? Okay, I have, and
And
I do like the High Noons better.
oh, well,
I have.
this doesn't have alcohol. It's
Oh,
just a
that's
drink.
just a Topo Chico. Oh, okay. Did you mix that with
No.
your Seagram thing? Oh, okay. So Topo Chico actually has seltzers also,
Mhm.
which I was going to say I haven't had that brand of seltzer, but that would explain why because it's actually not a seltzer. Um,
Yeah.
but the Topo Chico ones, I actually do like them.
Do you?
But I still like high noons are my favorite. I like a high noon over a Truly. I like high noon over a White Claw. White Claw is probably my least favorite.
I
Actually,
try those
that's
high
not
noons
true.
and they're just gross to me.
Really, you don't like them?
I don't. They
See,
taste
but
like just carbonation.
see, I love the carbonation. Do you like seltzers normally though? Because you're not really a seltzer drinker.
No, I mean, there's been a couple. Now, there's one that we tried on the airplane. It was by Dogfish Head and it was
Oh yeah,
a strawberry lemonade. No, it was a strawberry lemonade vodka.
cider. Oh, vodka. Yeah.
Yeah, in a can and it was good.
See, that's why the high noons. I think that's why I like them because they're vodka seltzers.
Hmm.
So
I don't know.
I don't know. But my least favorite is Budweiser seltzers.
Oh.
So they had a cola, a Budweiser cola seltzer. So it was like
Ew.
black cherry cola, and co- they were so sweet. They were just
Oh.
disgusting. I did not like them. And they have their Christmas sweater pack that comes out during the
Oh, yeah.
holidays. They're just super sweet, super,
Oh.
super sweet. I didn't care for those. Um, but yeah, high noons are probably my favorite. Though the hubs and I were having dinner last week, and I was really full, so
Hmm.
I didn't want to have a beer. I didn't want a mixed drink, so I was like, I'll get a seltzer. I don't normally order a seltzer from a bar. I'll either have a
Yeah.
beer or a mixed drink. And I was like, I don't know. I just want something light. And the only seltzers they had were Vizzy, Vizzy. I don't know if you've ever seen
Mm-mm.
them or heard of them. I'd never tried one, but I tried one, and they had a watermelon one that was actually really good. I did like
Oh,
that one too.
okay.
So I like seltzers, but again, it's not normally my go-to. Like I'm getting very suspect of this one. It's strong. Like I only had a quarter of it, and I'm like, oh,
But have you eaten
I'm
dinner yet?
I feel warm. No, I have not.
My microwave died.
Oh.
Speaking of dinner, I'm like, I
You're
don't
like,
know.
I couldn't eat dinner. My microwave's dead.
Right. I mean, I have stuff to warm up and I have no way to warm it up.
Can you warm it up in your air fryer? Doesn't we have the same air fryer and it has warm up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could probably put it in your air fryer.
Yeah, I could. Maybe.
That's the best way to have leftover pizza. So honestly, for me, leftover pizza, the best way to have it is at room temperature. So when I bring
Stick it
leftover
in the
pizza
oven.
home, stick it in the oven. Isaiah thinks I'm crazy. I'm
Mhm.
like, no, this is just what we did.
Yep.
Everybody, I like this. That's what you did. You put it in the. He's like,
Yeah.
why do you put it in the oven? I'm like, I don't know. My mom did it that way, so that's how I do it.
It's out
You
of the
have
way.
yeah, exactly. You have leftover pizza in the box in the oven,
Yep.
room temperature. That's the best way to
Yep.
eat leftover pizza.
I agree.
But in my air fryer, which again we have the same one,
Okay.
so it has a warm setting where you can
Uh-huh.
warm up like leftovers. Everybody thinks I'm disgusting because I don't like warming food up. I think it tastes gross. So if I have leftovers, I like to leave all my leftovers on the counter at room temperature. I've never died.
Here I am being alive.
I've never had food poisoning. That's just what I do. I've always done it that way. Now, I won't leave it on the counter for like 2 or 3 days and then eat it.
Hmm.
If I come home, I have leftover dinner, I leave it on the counter. The next day, I'll eat it.
Hmm.
That's the way I like it. I don't like
Yeah.
it warmed up. It usually never tastes the same when you warm it up. So I just like it at room temperature. People think I'm gross. I'm like, whatever. I haven't
I
died.
don't
And you
think
know
you're
what?
gross.
Thanks, D too. I'm never sick. So I have enough bacteria in me
Ah,
that I
yes.
can leave my leftovers on the counter and eat them the next day and it's not going to kill me. So I'm never sick. It's because I have built up my immune system by eating, you know,
Yep. Yeah.
stale leftovers.
Stale. Okay.
How do you like your leftovers? First of all, do you eat leftovers? That's a whole thing too. So if me and the husband are out to dinner, usually if I don't finish my meal, I just give it to him and he'll eat it.
Hmm.
Or there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, I want to get a to go box. And he's like, what did I do? Why are you
Oh.
mad at me? Like, why can't I eat the rest of your dinner?
Yeah.
So the whole leftover thing is a big, controversy in our house.
I do eat my leftovers. Not
Hmm.
always, but pizza, definitely. I
Yeah.
love leftover pizza. Okay.
Everybody watching this podcast is probably like, ew, Char is disgusting.
Well, here she is alive, so
Here I am alive and I never get sick. I have all the good bacteria in my gut.
there you go. There you go.
So
That'll work.
something to be said about it. I also, drank the dog water when I was a kid. So
Oh, did you?
probably, but I don't know for sure.
I remember a dog treat.
Okay.
Bacon.
It really did taste like pepperoni.
I remember you
Did
telling
you
me.
try it too? You didn't
I
try it.
know.
You thought I was gross. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
So the family that I used to babysit for, that is like my extended family, we were babysitting and they had dog treats. That was the
Bacon strips.
bacon strips. Yeah, but what was it called? Bacon.
Bacon strips.
Bacon strips, that's right. So I was like, I mean, if it's good enough for a dog. So I tried it and I was like, it tastes like jerky. It tastes like pepperoni jerky.
I remember you're just like, I kind of want to try it. I was like, you should.
Oh, but it was good. It was good. So, in a pinch, well, they said, I mean, honestly, if you can feed it to your dog, you can eat it. That's a known
Hopefully.
fact. That's a
Hopefully.
known fact.
This was
So,
like the late 80s, so
yeah, well, I mean, who knows what kind of FDA rules there were back then, but
right.
again, I'm alive.
Yeah.
I've
You're
never
here to
died.
tell the
I've,
tale.
I've never died.
Okay, so I think, sorry, my stuff keeps moving because I'm sitting on my bed. Um, I think we should talk a little bit about Christmas because Christmas is coming up. So,
Oh, yeah. So wait, when this is released, let's see, it will be this will release on Christmas Eve.
oh, how perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
yeah,
yeah,
we
we
should
should talk
definitely
about
talk about.
Christmas. Yeah.
So, when I was little, I mean, I love Christmas now, but when I was little, I think, it was a big deal. And I remember last podcast you talked about how your dad would go cut a tree, which we often would go cut a tree too.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know if we had a permit or not either, but
Yeah.
that's kind of
Probably
what you
not.
did up there.
Yep.
Um, but ours were always more on the Charlie Brown side. I mean, we could have picked something else, but we wanted something that you could hang a lot of ornaments in instead of it being really full. What about you? Is that how yours was?
So my mom liked, I don't know what tree it is, but it kind of like that one where there's the branch and then the
I don't think we can say what that is
trunk,
on. Yeah, the
trunk,
trunk. Yeah, the
the
trunk.
trunk, and then there would be some branches and then trunk and then branches because she liked the ornaments to be able to hang. And
Yes.
I always liked the full trees because I would always do like the Martha Stewart decorative tree,
Okay.
and my
Okay.
mom was all about the ornaments.
Okay.
So growing up, we had that kind of tree where it was like branches, trunk, branches, trunk. I forget what those ones are called,
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
yeah.
Okay, so well, I like the same. I like lots of like homemade ornaments and memorable, from when you're little.
Hmm.
Like I have some that I hang on my tree that are from when I was little.
Yeah. Do you
But
have
we
your
used,
tree up? It is officially December 10th. Do you have
I
your
know.
Christmas tree up?
I'm no, I guess I'm being a bah humbug in the
Are
last
you being
couple of
a
years.
Grinch?
It's just so busy and
Well, you
there's
haven't
just
stolen anybody's Christmas, so I guess you're not the Grinch, but you're
not that you
Scrooge.
know of.
This is true.
But do you remember using tinsel?
Oh, yeah,
I don't I don't even know if you can buy tinsel anymore.
you can.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah, you can.
remember.
Although it is very much a fire hazard. People
Oh,
shouldn't.
well, I mean, I remember I loved the tinsel as a kid, but
Hmm.
then one of my chores was vacuuming,
Oh,
and it would suck it
yeah.
up, and then it would get all wrapped up in the thing, and I would have to clean the vacuum, so I did not like that part of it.
Yeah.
Um, but then
And what about the popcorn string?
we
Did you
never
ever
really. I mean,
string
I
the
think we maybe
popcorn
did it
and
once, but we did more. Well, I think we did it at school where you'd cut out
yeah,
pieces of construction paper and make like a chain.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We did that.
That oh, yeah. Remember in grade school doing the links and then every day you would tear one off until it was Christmas Day?
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
With
Oh yeah.
construction paper, you would do the little rings where they would connect.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, but so how long was it until you didn't really believe in Santa anymore.
Okay, that's funny that you asked me that. So, remember Mrs. Jellison?
Third grade.
Yep, she was our third grade teacher. So, I remember I was on the playground and my mom, because she worked at the school, I knew a lot of the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So, she was doing yard duty, which is during
Right.
recess, there was a teacher out there to kind of monitor everything. And she was doing it. And I remember I went up to her and I was talking to her, and it was getting close to Christmas time. And she was talking and she's like, blah, 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 and Santa, da, da, and she goes, you know, Santa's not real, right? And I was like, oh, yeah. And inside, I'm like, yeah. That's how I found out Santa wasn't real.
From her? Remember, she didn't like us.
Do you remember when she made you?
Oh,
Okay, you
no.
might not remember this. So, first of all, we sat right next to each other, and then she separated us because we would never shut up. So then remember, we would sign language. We only knew the alphabet.
Right.
So we'd be like, and this meant next
Like,
word.
next word.
Yes. So we would spell the word out because that's the only sign language we knew was the alphabet. And then that was next word. And so it would take us, I don't know, an hour and a half to like get out 5 words. Like,
Sure.
yeah. Do you
Because you're like,
remember that? Do you
I
remember
do.
doing that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do.
So I remember one time also. So your desk was a mess. And
Oh,
she was like, you need to clean up your desk and organize your desk. So you had taken everything in your desk and moved it over to one side, and then you covered it with doll play.
that sounds like something I would do for sure. Well, I know because I had brought like strawberry shortcake dolls, like I had toys and stuff in my
You had
desk.
so much stuff in your desk. And these were the old school desks where the seat and the desk, it was all connected one unit. You lifted the top. Like anybody that is 20, actually probably 30 and younger, have no idea what we're talking about right
Right.
now. But it was the old, I had one, remember? I had a
Yes.
desk for like a gazillion years. But yeah, so she came over and she's like, okay. She goes, okay, lift up your, because you had to lift the desk lid up. And she's like, and what's under that? What? She's like, that too. So maybe some of that stuff needs to go home. But do you also remember we had the strip that had
The
four,
smiley faces.
four smiley faces.
And
And
she,
yep, you would have to cross one off. So if we got caught talking,
oh,
we'd have
yeah.
to mark off. So at the end of the week, if you had all of your smiley faces, you got to go across the street to Thrifty and get ice
That
cream.
only happened one time.
I don't think I ever got to go get ice cream.
Okay. So,
How did
did I?
you ever end up getting ice cream and not me? Maybe I did get to go one time, but
Well, you probably got to go the one time. So, listen to how clever I am. So, yes, I never got it because normally you just got some kind of, you got some prize, but it
yeah, like an
wasn't ice cream.
eraser top or something stupid.
Right. And so I overheard the teacher talking to the principal and asking, I want to, like next week or whatever, I want to take the kids across the street to get an ice cream, all the ones that keep all their smiley faces, can I do that? And the principal said yes. And I don't know where I was to be able to hear this, but I heard it. I'm like, yeah. So I was like, stellar.
Did you hear that? Because like I was in the teacher's lounge all the time. Because like on recess and stuff, I'd go visit my mom.
I don't know. I don't remember, but I heard it and I'm like, oh yeah. And I got to go. That was like probably the only time I didn't get all my smiley
That's
faces.
hilarious. Now let's also mention that this is when one scoop of Thrifty ice cream was 15 cents.
Yep. The cylinder.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. The metal gun cylinder thing that took the ice cream out. To this day, that literally was the best ice cream ever.
Well, let me just tell you, in Mexico, they have that. Yeah.
Is it the same brand, Thrifty?
Yes.
Where? Oh, where your dad lives in Mexico?
Yeah. 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 When my daughter and I
When
went.
are we going?
I know. I'm like, wait, is that thrifty ice cream? Like Thrifty? And they even had the little
Was it still
thing.
15 cents? for
No.
one scoop.
Maybe it was 15 pesos. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was delicious.
that's so funny. I remember I think it was like second or third grade, we had a spelling test, and one of the words was trouble. TR, well, everybody knows how to spell trouble. I don't need to spell it. Anyways, there were games in the classroom because on a rainy day you would have to play board games or something. And one of the board games was trouble.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I remember I was like,
You peeked over there.
like it was so hard to spell trouble, but I remember I was like, TR.
That's funny.
You know what? Another really funny story about grade school. So there was a boy, I think this was fifth grade, and we were in separate fifth grade classes. You had Mr.
No, I had
Statham,
no
right?
Mrs.
Didn't you?
Statham. And then she
Oh,
became Mrs. Scopes
oh,
or
so we
vice
did
versa.
have the same fifth grade teacher too then.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you were in a different fifth grade.
I had Mr. Cherry for 4th grade.
Yes, and I had a different fourth grade teacher.
Okay.
I didn't have Mr. Cherry. So yeah, it was fourth grade. Okay. So I'm pretty sure it was in fifth grade that there was a little boy that I had a crush on. I don't know that you would know him.
What are his initials?
AM. Anyways, here, I'll text it to you. So, we were at recess and we would always play Foursquare, which, see, yeah, I don't know that you remember him.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Did we go to high school with him?
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
He wasn't the one that was in FFA. Blonde hair.
No. He was Mexican, I think.
Okay.
I know you wouldn't tell by that name, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he was Mexican.
Okay.
Anyways, so we were at recess and we were playing Foursquare, and he got out. Like I don't remember. I did something that he ended up being out, and he got mad, and I don't. Again, this was like 50 years ago, so I don't remember the whole conversation. But I must have said something and he got mad and he ended up spitting. And when he spit, like he was like, it landed in my mouth.
Oh, gross. What?
Yes. So I was like, and I was like I was so grossed out. So when we get back into the classroom, now I was a good girl. We've talked about this. We were good kids. We weren't getting detention. We weren't getting like we were good kids, especially because my mom worked at the school. So I didn't really get away with anything.
Exactly.
So anyways, so we get back in the classroom and he sat in front of me. And so I decided to take a tack and put it in his seat. And he sat down in it. And yeah, and like and I ended up getting sent to the principal's office. And then when I told it, they were like, why would you put a tack in someone's seat? That's not nice. And I'm like, he's spitting.
What did they say? Ew.
I don't remember exactly. I just remember having to go to the principal's office, and I didn't there were no repercussions after that. It was probably something
it was your warning.
It was probably like, okay, well, it's not nice to put tacks in people's seats. And then I leave and they're like, oh my God, this little bastard just spit in her mouth. Like,
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I remember my very first boyfriend in 6th grade. Now, you ended up leaving the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Because our teacher, do you remember making notes of everything
she
she
was
did
horrible.
that was mean? And
yes, she was horrible.
I think we actually may have talked about this, right? Yeah,
we did.
Anyways, my boyfriend in 6th grade was my first boyfriend. I thought about this when we were done with 6th grade. We were going to get married and have babies and run off together.
Oh.
I wasn't thinking that there was still junior high and high school after
More
that.
school. Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
we're done. His phone number, the last 4 digits of his phone number were 4077. So anybody who grew up in the 80s knows that MASH
Oh, the
4077.
4077. Yeah.
Remember MASH
Yeah.
4077. So his phone number was 4077, and we went to a movie, like one of our dates. Our parents took us to a movie, and he brought me a gift, and it was a cameo necklace.
I remember this.
You might. So at recess, we would always. So remember, there was the asphalt that had like the 4 square
Was it
boxes
the
and
big tires? Did you make out in the big tire, Shar?
no, not in the back. So in the primary school year, because remember it was split up. The primary kids were in the back where they had
Hmm.
tires and that half moon that like you would never find on a school ground now because people fell off of them and like got concussions.
Yes.
And then there was the older kids, like 4th grade and up, were in the front, and there were soccer fields, there were 4 square, there were tetherball courts, and
Okay.
then there
Yeah.
were the
Yeah.
handball courts.
Yep.
Remember the handball courts?
Hmm.
So we would always go out to the handball courts and we would just hug for the whole recess. We would just hug. So bell rings, we would run out to the handball courts. I would stand on a rock, and then we would just hug the whole time. Just hug. He
That's so
never tried to
sweet.
fill me up. We never kissed. We would just hug the whole
Did you
time. And
talk
then
while hugging?
sometimes, maybe, I don't know. That was a long time ago. But I know there was no hanky panky. There was no dirty stuff
Okay.
happening. And then the bell would ring and we'd go back into class. But that's what we would do every single day
Oh my God, that is
during
hilarious.
recess. So, what are some traditions that you have or that you had as a kid, like Christmas traditions, and maybe you've kept them like with your daughter? Or like,
So,
and also I'm very curious, did you do the Christmas on Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day was with family, or did you get one gift, or like what was the situation when you were a kid?
so that was a very hard thing to break because my feelings on Christmas traditions were strong. Like all growing up on Christmas Eve, we went over to Grandma and Grandpa's. All the family came together. We would, at Grandma and Grandpa's, we'd have a meal. We'd exchange our gifts to each other on Christmas Eve. But then on Christmas morning, when Santa came in the night,
Mm-hmm.
that is when you would spend it with your own family in your own house. You'd open your stocking, you'd have some
Yep, yep.
breakfast and you'd open your stockings and you'd open your presents from each other and from Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And when we moved and we had to go to Matt's families and we weren't, I, I mean, it was really super fun to hang out with them, but I'm just like, but wait, we have to be at our house on Christmas morning because
Yeah.
Santa's there. And I had this whole like thing about Santa. He comes to our house when we're gone. And so when we get there, it was because I wanted to have that private with
Yeah.
my family
Yep.
in the morning, wake up. I even, when we had to do it not on Christmas Day, I'm such a liar. I'd be like, okay, well, I made a deal with Santa and he's gonna come by and he's gonna leave our stuff a day later or a
Yeah.
day early or whatever because this is when we need to do ours.
Oh, that's so funny. You know,
Actually, when I think she was either 10 or maybe 12. I must be a really good liar about these things. And my dad is the one that was like, well, you better tell her because people are going to start making fun of her at school. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, I mean, I guess maybe I should. And so I did.
and she
She
was
had
heartbroken.
heart broken.
So
Oh, I know.
like
I
when
was like,
Mrs. Jellison told me Santa wasn't real. You know Santa's not real, right? Oh yeah, I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, just bawling. I was like, And then after, a
Bad
while,
advice, Dad.
and
Bad
then after a
advice.
while, she looks up at me and she's like, the Easter Bunny too? I was like, sorry.
Does she still think the Tooth Fairy is real? She's what, 19? The Tooth Fairy's real, babe.
Yeah.
I promise.
She's going to be 21 next
I know,
month,
in
Char.
January. I know her birthday.
I know.
Oh my God. Well, hello, my nephew. He just
How old?
turned 32.
Oh, God. What?
32.
No.
Yes.
No. I refuse to believe it.
We're old. We're old. Okay, so you said a couple things that reminded me of a couple things. So our tradition was, so usually on Christmas Eve, we were always at family. Again, I had a very large family. We all were in the same town. So usually on Christmas Eve, we were at family's house, but Christmas
Okay.
morning was always just us.
Okay.
That was our thing.
So same for you.
Yep, same exact thing. We always got to open one gift on Christmas Eve, and it was
Okay.
always either pajamas or a new pillow
Okay.
or slippers, something completely useful, which was stupid. So we always got to open one gift on Christmas Eve, and it was always that. Even so, my grandparents lived in Eugene, Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
which was like probably about an 8-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 8-hour drive. And we spent a couple Christmases at their house, and even at their house on Christmas Eve, we always opened one gift, and it was
Okay.
usually new pajamas. And then Christmas morning is when we would always open our gifts. And usually it was just us, my dad, my mom, me, and my brother on Christmas morning. We opened all of our gifts. One person was Santa, usually my dad. So, we all opened a gift together. So he'd give my mom a gift, me a gift, my brother a gift, and then he would open a gift. And
Okay.
just how we did it in the morning. Um, and that's how I do it to this day. I don't do a gift on Christmas Eve. Oh, and
Okay.
we would open our stockings first, which every
Oh, yeah.
kid that grew up in the 80s got a bunch of fruit and nuts in their stocking, like whole nuts, like
Yeah.
walnuts, which to this day I have my dad's nutcracker and I freaking love it. I cherish it. And every year I buy whole nuts and
Yep.
break out the nutcracker because it's very sentimental.
And I think now this nutcracker, is it an actual nutcracker, or are you
n-
talking about the set with the little
the
things?
set, yep,
Okay,
it's the
that's
little bowl with
yep.
the set
The
and the
wooden
picks and
bowl with the
yep,
metal little
yep,
yep. And
yep.
there's even the one where you can dig out the
I have those. So
yep.
mine, the cracker, it goes in the middle, and then there's like
Oh, yeah.
4 or
We have the
5
same
of
one.
yes, we have the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple things that like when my dad passed away, there were a couple things that I really wanted. I wanted his cribbage board
Uh-huh.
because I worked in San Francisco at the time when he was going through treatment. It was all research treatment because this was in the 90s. But I would get off work, I would go to the hospital, and me and my dad would play cribbage. He taught me how to play cribbage. And I got to where, like, there were a couple times where I double skunked him, and anybody that knows cribbage knows what that means. But regularly, I would skunk him. I got so good at cribbage that he was like, dang, like he had a hard time. Like I was like, he had to actually work to, try to beat me. So when he passed away, I wanted his cribbage board, and because he had the old school cribbage
Yeah.
board with the metal pegs. So I wanted his cribbage board and I wanted the nut bowl, the
The
nut bowl
nutcracker
with the
set.
crackers and everything. Yeah. Anyways, so to this day, me and the hubs, we wake up in the morning, we go downstairs, we do our stockings first,
Mm-hmm.
which I do not fill our stockings with nuts and freaking fruit like our parents did. It's filled with gifts, which I had to teach my husband. If it doesn't fit in the stocking, it's not a stocking stuffer. So for many years, he would have all these extra little gifts and he's like, here, these were your stocking stuffers. I'm like, if it doesn't fit in the stocking, it's not a stocking stuffer. It's just a gift at that point.
Okay.
So he's getting better about it. But So we open our stockings first. The dogs open their stockings, which is ridiculously adorable. They get so
Oh,
excited and watching that. It's super cute. And
oh,
then we do our gift exchange. We open gifts
okay.
and then we just watch movies all day. We have mimosas. I'll usually like order like a quiche and have like croissants and stuff. So
Oh,
I don't have to
fun,
cook.
fun.
So
Okay.
we have breakfast, have mimosas, and then we just watch Christmas movies all day. Um, but uh now I have completely forgotten what I was going to say about Christmas, but that was a lot of information anyways. Oh, you also said something about your grandparents, and that reminded me of a totally separate story that has nothing to do with Christmas. So we can
Okay.
come back to that. When I have it written down so I don't forget. So we can
Okay.
keep talking about Christmas since,
Okay.
Christmas is
So,
tomorrow.
so here's another thing to ask. Were your presents from Santa
Oh, yep.
wrapped or
Yep.
unwrapped?
Wrap.
Oh, see,
They were
mine were
from Santa and they were
unwrapped.
wrapped. Oh, really?
Yep, they were unwrapped. So you'd run out there in the morning and you'd see these things that weren't there the night before and they weren't wrapped.
Oh, I remember what I was going to tell you now.
What?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, ours were always wrapped and they were always
Okay.
from Santa. Um, and sometimes it would be like from mom and dad, from Santa, from Mrs. Claus, from Rudolph. Like I remember Black Hills Gold was such a big thing. I remember my very first time Black Hills Gold ring. Remind me to tell you that story. Anyways, I remember one morning because my parents would always wait until we were asleep and then they would put all the gifts under the tree.
Hmm.
And so in the morning we woke up and we were like, Santa came.
Exactly.
So I remember now this is after Mrs. Jellison ruined it for me and I knew Santa was not real. So we were in like junior high and my parents were still thinking that we were thinking it was real, which was
Oh,
totally plausible. So I remember one morning or one Christmas, I asked parents, I go, why do you always wait until we go to bed before you bring all the presents out? So
you're like, oh, really?
my dad. He was like, oh my,
Oh,
yeah. He was like, Nancy, do you want to answer this?
I, I don't know.
I'm like,
Oh,
why do you bring all the presents out? Yeah.
so was there ever a particular Christmas present that you just like remember, like, oh my God, that was so amazing?
So many.
Oh, well, anytime I think of it, I always think of one, and it's gonna be so dumb. It
Your
was
Fonzie guitar.
no, no. I mean, I think I got that when I was like 2 or something, so I don't even know when I got that, but I had it when I was 5, but
Yeah, yeah. But you got it when you were real young.
maybe I don't know when I got it, but
Okay.
no, I don't know how old I was, but I got from Santa because it was out there unwrapped. Because I remember running in the living room, and that was the first thing I saw, and I was so excited about it. Like it wasn't something I asked for, but I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So, the like a bag that avocados come in, that
Hmm. Yeah,
net,
that net
whatever.
stuff. Hmm.
So it was this really tall net thing. And I mean, it was probably like, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet tall.
Hmm.
And it was full of the fake food for your little toy kitchen.
Oh yeah.
It
Hmm.
had like eggs and it
Oh
had
yeah.
little bottles of milk
I
and
know
little
exactly
boxes
what
of.
you're talking about. I remember
I
those.
was so excited about that.
Hmm.
I mean, well, because I played house. I guess you just say like, oh, you want to play house?
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, yeah,
You want
yeah,
to play
yeah.
house? And so
Yep.
you'd pretend like you're doing the dishes and you'd put the
Yep.
baby to bed and
Hmm. Hmm.
whatever.
I never had one of those little kitchens, but you did, and we
Well,
played at
and,
your
and
house.
it was just, I mean, like I remember, I think it was probably like Fisher Price or something,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
the little burners on the
Hmm.
stove, if you turned the knob, they would
Turn
change
red.
to red color. Yeah,
Yep.
like,
Yep. Yep.
and the sink, you could put water in there, so water would come out
Yes.
the little spout.
So
Do you remember that really cool wooden chair we had with the fur on it?
yes, not just wooden. It was like
A
these
piece of
giant
carved,
pieces of
I think it was a
like
carved,
tree. Yeah.
yeah, because we got it from like a rich relative. They didn't want it anymore. I mean, I
It was
used
later when you got it though. I feel like we were in junior high or high school when you guys
probably,
got that.
probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no, because I remember
Was it sooner?
playing in it. Like
Oh,
I
okay.
like because underneath it, it seemed like a cave, and so I'd
Yeah,
like
yeah,
play my toys in there, and then I don't know, you know how
yeah.
it was. They'd like climb up there or whatever. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so any memorable Christmases? Anything about Christmas you want to tell?
Oh, yeah. So so there was a big box under the tree. So of course I wanted to open that one because it was for me. So I unwrapped the first one and it was another wrapped gift. So then I unwrapped that one and it was another wrapped gift. And I did this like, I don't know, probably 10 times. And then I finally get to a box and there's a note that says, pull me. And it was in my mom's handwriting. It said, pull me. So it was a piece of paper with a string attached to it that said, pull me. So I was like, okay. So I pulled and I kept pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pull. Like I'm telling you, my parents used a whole roll of string, and at the end of it was my very first Black Hills gold ring.
Oh,
Yep,
that's awesome. Do you
yep.
remember when I let you wear mine with the butterfly and it broke and you had to go get it soldered?
I remember wearing your rings. I don't remember it broke, and I had to
Yeah,
get it
it
soldered.
the tip of the little wing broke and you
How we
probably
must
I
have been
mean,
older. We had to have been in like high school.
maybe or might have, I don't know if it was junior high or high school, but you I don't know if your parents made you pay for it or if they paid
Oh,
for it,
guaranteed they made me pay for it. Are you
but
kidding?
yeah, so I still have it and it still has the little solder mark on
Oh,
it.
that is so funny. I
Yep.
don't remember that, but that's very responsible of me. And to this day, if I ever borrowed something from you and broke it, I would totally replace it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I was raised. But
Um,
guaranteed my parents made me pay for that. Yeah.
so I did get you just a small Christmas present that I'm gonna be sending this week. It's just very small, but
Okay.
I
I
think you're gonna like it.
also have it's sitting in my Amazon basket. I was waiting until a little closer to send it to you, but it's a very small little. Okay, this is very ironic that there's a cat on your lap right now because it might have something to do with kitties.
Oh, I do love kitties.
I know you do. So, yeah. Okay, so when you were talking about your grandparents, where are we on time? How are we doing?
So finish this and then we're gonna do trivia.
Trivia. Okay,
Okay.
so this is, you will absolutely remember this. It's going to be a really fun story. And so, your grandpa, he owned a business.
Mhm.
He loved classic cars, and didn't he have, like, 5 generations of, like, one specific car where they won, like, awards and car shows and stuff?
He just had the one car.
Oh, I thought he had, like, 5 generations of it.
No.
Oh, just the one. Okay.
Yeah.
So he had a classic car, very old classic car. So he really loved classic cars, and part of the problem was when something went wrong on him, you couldn't get parts for him. So his business was he fabricated parts for old cars.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the summer, we sometimes would spend our days at your grandpa's shop at his
Yes.
business, which it was a business in the front. It was a storefront, and then the the back of
Parts.
the business was all parts.
Hmm.
And there were just it was a huge warehouse basically. So we would go there in the summertime and we would play hide and seek. Do you remember what story I'm going to tell?
No.
So we were playing hide and seek, and I was well developed as a young girl. Do you know what story I'm going to tell now?
No.
Still no? Okay, this is one of
No.
those where you totally forgot about it. So, do you remember I had a sweatshirt? It was a BMW sweatshirt that I loved and wore all the time because I
I
wanted
do.
a BMW so bad.
I do.
So, I was wearing my BMW sweatshirt. We were at your grandpa's in the summer. We were helping. Really, we were playing hide and seek and we were running
Right.
around the shop. And I hid, and I was hiding in the mufflers
Yes.
that they hung.
Yep.
So there were
Yep.
a bunch of them, and my boobs ended up hitting the mufflers, and they're all like,
I was
ching,
like,
ching, 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 ching. Do you remember now?
no.
Oh my God. So you knew exactly where to come and find me because my boobs ended up hitting the mufflers and totally ratted me out. And yeah. But do you remember playing hide and seek in your
Oh, I do.
grandpa's? Yeah,
I
yeah,
do.
yeah.
And do
We
you
would do that
remember
in
the
there.
playhouse we had that they had built us in the center? There was a humongous cardboard box and it had a door and like they'd use like bolts and screws to make a little lock and then they had a
I
little
don't
window.
remember that.
Oh my gosh. And then there was a bed. It was like a little house and there was a bed that was a creeper.
Wait,
Like a,
the
a
bed
creep.
was a
No,
creeper?
like a creeper that you roll on under a truck.
Oh,
Not a creeper, like
yes, yes,
creepy
yes.
guy. And then
I'm
they
like,
even had like
your
a little
grandma
pretend.
allowed creepers in there?
No. And then there's like a little pretend sink and stuff. Oh, it was the coolest.
I don't remember that.
It was so awesome. Yeah. Okay. Well, are you ready to do trivia?
I am. I am.
Okay.
I have so many more stories about your grandparents too. Remember when, because they were very involved with the VFW, and your grandma was like, "Hey, do you want to make some money?" And we served. Remember, we were
I do.
waiters at a
Yep. And
VFW,
we'd
like
like
this
pour in
big
their
dinner. Yeah,
coffee
we
and
were
stuff.
pouring their
I
coffee,
mean,
and
we were probably like, what, 13, 14
if
maybe?
that, at like 12, 13, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I remember
hilarious.
doing that. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I think we had like the Jeffs there. Like there were several people
Probably.
there that were helping. It wasn't just us.
The Jeffs.
But I feel like we made like $100 cash for doing that.
Uh, really?
Oh,
That would have been cool.
I remember because my dad borrowed money from me, and it was, yeah, I know. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay, let's do some trivia.
Okay. So we are, if you're,
One of your sisters still lives in your grandparents' house, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. She inherited it.
yeah, yeah.
So we're doing the Gen X challenge, a trivia game. We have a lot of fun with this. We got it off Amazon.
Yes, we
If
do.
they want to send us anything, I don't know, another
Amazon, I
set.
would love a gift certificate.
Yeah. So,
Not another Gen X game though, because we have two between the two of us.
that is very true. So I haven't even opened another pack. This is still the same pack. And this one we had last time, it was what planet were the Coneheads from? Do you remember?
Nope. But you know what I just thought of, B2? We should have bought one game and split the cost and split the packs.
Yeah, but we wouldn't get it fast enough and
Yeah,
all of
that's
that.
true.
So,
Okay.
okay.
What is the planet? I forget.
Remulac.
Remulac.
Okay. So I think that this one you're definitely going to get.
Okay.
Complete the lyrics for the song. Wake me up before you go. Wait, by Wham.
Mm-hmm.
Wake me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging on like a
Yo-yo.
yo. You're right.
Yo-yo. I thought it was a live yo-yo though. Like a yo-yo.
Don't keep me hanging on a live yo-yo.
Yeah, that's what I thought it said.
Okay, I love that.
Now we know. I know.
You're gonna get murdered.
Stranger danger.
Someone behind
Stranger
you.
danger.
Okay.
He seemed quite frantic also. Hope everything is okay.
In 1995. Oh, I did not know this. This is a juicy one. In 1995, Hugh Grant was arrested for lewd conduct in a public place with a sex worker named Divine Brown.
Yep.
What actress was he in a relationship with at the time?
I totally remember this story. Who was it Renee Zellweger that he was in a relationship with? Julia Roberts? Daisy something.
Oh, you want a hint?
Yeah.
She was in, see, I don't even know if you know this movie, but it's one of my favorites. She was in
So I
Ed
haven't seen
TV.
it. See? Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh.
What are her initials?
EH.
Ellen Hopper.
No.
Actually, I think that might be somebody I worked with.
I don't know who that is.
EH. I totally remember that story. I remember all of that. I don't remember who he was dating though.
She was also in a Austin Powers movie.
Say?
I think she has a British accent. I don't know if it's real.
Oh, Elizabeth Hurley.
Yes.
Yes.
Ding ding ding.
That took a quick minute.
Oh. Oh, this one my sister would know because this guy actually hit on her before.
Wait, we've talked about this, I think.
It's a different one.
Oh,
Miss Popular.
your
Okay.
sister is quite beautiful, so
Yes. Who played the role of Officer Francis Poncherello in the
oh,
TV series
yeah,
Chips?
Eric Estrada. He hit on her? He hit on your sister? Do you remember when you were here visiting me and we went to a very fancy
Hmm.
restaurant? Yeah, and the Hulk
I
was there and you asked him for his autograph and he was like,
no,
"No."
I didn't ask him for his autograph. I
Oh,
was
I thought
scared
you
to
did.
because he looked like he was grumpy. He was having a bad day, and I did not want to make it worse.
I thought you actually
No,
did ask him and
no, I
so
wanted to.
okay, so Cindy, for like 10 years I've been telling people that we saw Lou Ferrigno
And then he wouldn't
at
give
the
me
girl,
no,
yeah, and that you asked him for his autograph, and he said no. Sorry,
no,
Lou.
no. I wanted to, but he would look like really grumpy, and I think he was on the phone, or I don't remember what, or
Yeah,
he
you
was
know what
talking to someone.
that sounds familiar now, but for like as long like for years I've been telling people
I
that,
wanted to.
that we saw him there, and you asked him, and he said no.
Poor Lou.
Sorry, Lou. Sorry, Lou Ferrigno. That's hilarious, though. Anyways,
Oh, this is so easy. Okay, and this is funny because in these so far, every one of the numbers that is a one, they actually used an I.
oh,
Yeah, it's like a
okay,
typo.
like Roman numeral.
I mean, I think just I don't know
Okay,
because the rest of the numbers are normal.
okay.
What popular science fiction film released in 1985 featured a time traveling DeLorean car?
Oh, Back to the Future.
Ding ding ding. Okay, we'll do a couple more.
Okay.
Oh, you're totally gonna get this one. This is so up your alley. It's gonna run you over. I just made that up. That's pretty good.
I like it. I like it.
What group released the album Crazy Sexy Cool in
Oh,
1994?
TLC. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Toads. Toads. I still listen to TLC. It's on my playlist.
I'm interested to see if you get this one.
Okay, I probably won't.
Which Hanna-Barbera character
Okay.
spoke with a southern accent, carried a parasol, and had a love interest in Yogi Bear?
Okay, when you said Southern accent, I was thinking Yogi Bear, but
The girl that liked him.
yeah,
Sorry.
bless you.
Thanks.
Hanna-Barbera, let's just talk about that for a second. Those were the good cartoons.
Yeah, and Looney Tunes.
And
Nothing beats
I
Looney
mean,
Tunes.
Looney Tunes was great too, but Hanna-Barbera,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Underdog and Great Babe and like all of those.
Yep.
Shoot, I can totally picture her, but I
Yeah.
cannot remember the name.
Okay, well, let me give you a hint.
Okay.
Her name is the same as your best friend's name.
Is your best friend Cindy?
Yeah, Cindy
Lou?
Bear.
Cindy Bear. Okay. I'm all
I
Cindy Lou.
remember that only because it was my name.
Okay. Okay. I can picture her. I couldn't remember what her name was.
Oh, let's see if you remember this one. We'll do just a couple more.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
What gum proclaimed in its commercials, the taste is gonna move you?
Juicy fruit.
Ding, ding, ding. I didn't remember that. Oh, okay, we'll do this one. I don't know
Well,
how
we
many
need to
more
do
we're
a
gonna do.
couple more.
Okay,
I think I asked you like 10. So
yeah. Okay, what TV show does the following snippet of the theme song belong to? You're so gonna get this. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have.
The Facts of Life.
Yes,
The Facts
the
of Life.
facts of life.
Tootie. Yeah, yeah.
And Natalie
Natalie.
and Blair.
Blair.
Rachel?
No, no, no. The the lesbian that had the motorcycle. That was uh
Gina. No, I'm just kidding. uh, okay, it'll come to us in a second.
everybody watching right now is totally screaming.
Yeah. We can hear you. Stop.
I know, like, get off of us.
Okay, we're going to do two more.
Okay.
What was the name of the military operation that began in January 1991 in the Gulf
Joe.
War?
That was her name. Joe.
Joe. Yeah.
Joe. Okay. I didn't hear the question. Sorry.
Did you look it up?
I did.
What was the name of the military operation that began in January 1991 in the Gulf War?
Gulf Storm. Or Desert Storm.
Yep, Operation Desert Storm.
So remember, we were in high school. Do you remember in high school when, like, people that we went to school with went to Desert Storm and then came back and, like, visited our classrooms? And yeah, that was crazy.
Which actress, known for her wholesome role in Saved by the Bell, faced significant controversy after starring in the explicit film Showgirls?
Elizabeth Burley? No, Elizabeth Banks.
Close. Berkeley.
Berkeley. Damn it.
I remember when I'm like, Jessie? What is Jessie doing looking like a stripper on the front of this movie? Like, that was not okay. Yes, it was significant controversy.
It's a Versace.
Yes. Okay. I just have to keep doing one more. I don't know.
Yeah.
What animatronic bear toy, popular in the 80s, could read stories and move its mouth and eyes?
Rigsby. It's Rumpskin.
Rumpelstiltskin.
No, that's not it. It starts with an R. It's
I think you said it right the very first time.
Rugsby?
No.
Ruxby.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Ruxpin. Yeah. That's close.
Okay, you should get this one. Controversial for its time, in which game did players perform various criminal tasks and missions in the three fictional cities of Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas?
Wait,
I feel like
read it again.
It's more when we were a little bit older. Controversial for its time, in which game did players perform various criminal tasks and missions in the three?
The car game. Where you can, like, smack hookers and kill people. Grand Theft Auto.
That's the one. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think you're going to get this one, but I don't know.
I probably
this
won't.
This was partly your occupation, so maybe you watched it. I didn't watch it. What was the full name of the character played by David Hasselhoff on the show Baywatch?
I was a lifeguard in high school, or no, college. I was the water park. His name was, starts with an S, doesn't it?
No.
Oh no. David Hasselhoff's character in Baywatch was, I don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, so I have no
Wait,
idea.
Give me the initials. Maybe I'll get it.
MB.
Michael?
No.
Marty?
No.
Mike?
No.
Merle?
Mulva. Mitch Buchanan.
Mitch. Damn it. Okay. Mitch. I would have never gotten Buchanan. I could have probably come around to Mitch, though.
Okay, we're going to do 2 more.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay.
This one you should get. The other one is weird. Okay.
Okay.
What 80s rock band sang Dr. Feelgood?
Oh, my favorite. We've already talked about it. Motley Crue.
Yeah. This is weird.
We have some fun stories about Motley Crue. Do you remember going on a church youth rally, and in the back of the van, we all sat in the back of the van, and we had Motley Crue, which was not really great, but we were listening to Shout at the Devil, and so we would like turn it up real loud when it was like Shout at the Devil, and then we'd turn it back down. We're like, see, it's Christian rock.
They're shouting at the devil because they don't like. Oh yeah, I do.
Mr. Oliver was driving. Yep. We're like, see, it's Christian rock. Yeah.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
This is dumb. What style of jeans, popularized by the hip hop community in the 90s, were closely associated with the trend of exposing one's boxers underneath?
There's a name for that trend of the jeans?
No. It's stupid.
Levi's?
Baggy jeans.
That is like, okay, one more because that one was stupid.
Oh, you should definitely get this one. This is a good one to end on.
Okay.
In 1986, what comedy film starring Matthew Broderick was released about a high school student's elaborate plan to skip school?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Dunkashay, my darling Dunkashay. I always thought that was a woman. I didn't realize it was a man singing it. Anyways.
What was his name? Abe Froman, the sausage king of Chicago. Remember that rude waiter? He's all, I think you're being snooty. He's like, snotty? Snooty. That's so funny.
Have you been to Chicago?
No. Are they snooty or did they have the sausage king?
No, I had a great time. I did not meet the sausage king.
Okay.
But I did have the best Chicago deep dish pizza at Lou Malnati's.
Ooh. Okay.
And we were there when the Chicago Cubs won the World Series.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
Yeah. It was fluke because they were playing the not the Giants.
Washington Commanders. I'm kidding.
Did you watch your game? Did you watch your game this weekend?
No.
Okay, we won't talk about it.
Did they lose?
We won't talk about it. Who was the Dodgers? They were playing the Dodgers, and the Chicago Cubs actually won. So it was a whole thing, and we were there when that happened. And Lou Malnati's went crazy, and it was.
So it looks like the Commanders cleaned Titan's clock.
Yeah. Okay, but it doesn't count when you didn't watch it.
Well,
I mean, that's great that your team won. I'm glad that your team won, B2. My team won also.
What's yours? Mine's 8-5.
I'm 10-3, I believe.
Let's see if you know.
We just beat the Browns.
You're 10-3, and you beat the Browns. Look at you. Oh, and the Browns were 3-10.
Yeah, the Browns are terrible. And the 3, the 3, that 3 means they won 3 games, and 10 they lost 10 games.
I do.
So their 3 was us. One of their 3 was us. So
really,
we played them like in week, I think 10 or 11, and they beat us, which I was pissed because there's absolutely no way that the Browns should have beat us. So one of their 3 wins was us. So we played them again and we showed them what's up.
Okay.
So we're 10-3. So I think Pittsburgh Steelers is number 3 in the AFC.
Nice. What are the Commanders?
I'm not really sure. Do you even know what division you're in? Are you East, North, West?
Well, I'm assuming West because they're on the West Coast. I don't know. It's just an assumption. I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
They played pretty good. They had a pretty good season though. So
Good. I'm
yeah.
glad. Well, they got a really cute guy, so
Which
that's
is
all
the
that
whole
matters.
reason you picked your team. But you have to have I mean, there's got to be something that attracts you to a team. So for me, Pittsburgh Steelers, I watched an interview a million years ago with Heinz Ward. I fell in love with him and I'm like, that's because I've always liked football, but I never really had my team. My family is a huge Raiders team. I mean, my mom, born and raised in Oakland, my dad, Northern California. He,
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
in
Raiders
Berkeley in
was
the
big
60s.
grown up.
Raiders were big. The original Oakland Raiders
Right.
before they went to LA, then came back to Oakland, then went to Las Vegas. So you got to have something that brings you to your team. I saw this interview and I fell in love with Heinz Ward and I was like, that's my team. And I've been a Pittsburgh Steelers fan ever since. And that was like 15, 20 years ago.
Well, actually, this is kind of funny because do you remember in one of the other podcasts we talked about how when at school, like you sold magazine subscriptions or whatever and you'd get a pencil?
Yep.
I remember I won a pencil and it said Washington Redskins on it. And so I was like, I like the Washington Redskins because I had a pencil of them.
Oh, that's hilarious. So remember I talked about we lived in that gated community
Yep.
in California. So our neighbors that lived across the street, he was the brother to a person that was on the Washington Redskins.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. So our neighbors across the street was brothers with a but that still didn't make me like the Washington Redskins.
Sure.
But it was cool that we lived across the street from the brother of
Oh,
an NFL player.
of course, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. So, anyways, all right,
All right.
B2.
All
This
right.
another great podcast, like usual.
Yep.
So until next time, cheers.
Cheers.